All right, so today is going to be my second day riding this board. It's Titty 165, 166 wide, and I rode a 60 and I loved it so much I had to have one, so I got one. And I rode this and I'm like, well, this is a little bit different board than the 60. Not just length, you know, it's stiffer, it's got a longer side cut. It's like I don't feel like it's a standard size progression. This rides like it should be like a 170 or something, you know, like something that's made for somebody that's 260 pounds plus. Anyway, I love the art on it. I love that other Jamie I rode, but I rode this the other day in my kind of hooky, you know, and but I'm deciding whether or not I want to keep it or not. So last night I didn't do it yet. I started the cut back there and I said, but I'm going to trim down the tail and trim down the nose. And my gut says, the way this thing has this shifted volume to the front, my gut says that for a dude like me in heavy snow, you know, like mid to late spring, when you kind of land and stuff and you're crushing through a lot, and if you're riding anything that's real flexy or real bendy, when you punch through, it loads up and it fucking bucks you. I don't think this thing bucks. It's got a weird soft little tail. It's almost like honestly, it rides like an old lib, like an old litigator. Rides like a pretty stiff, like nose is a plank, you know, litigator that's had a swallowtail cut into it, because the tail of this thing is soft, like soft. So it's always real stiff in the front, riding up and out, whatever. But anyway, today is like 34. Gosh, it's 30. It's 30 at the base right now. So it's warm. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna ride this thing today. And if I fall in love with it again somehow in warmer, heavier snow, then I'm gonna trim it down and call it a spring skate deck, because that's what it feels like. It loads energy really well, like side hits and crap like that. Little jumps that have a bend in it, it loads those things. It really pops you out of them. Anyway, more on this later. All right, so here's the gig, man. Gang, we're talking about this bad boy. So I had it set up where I thought my vines would, like kind of where I'd want to be on the thing. And the nose of this board is so fucking stiff that it's like, man, you just don't want a lot of it hanging out there. It generates just a lot. So I choked up on the bindings and moving forward a little bit, and I rode it, got a little bit better. Took a couple runs and I just got off the top of the lift a second ago, and I bumped him up even farther. And man, I hit the sweet spot. Like, yeah, like I got a little bit of a tail going on there, but yeah, you get that leverage over the nose, get far enough up on it, suddenly it starts to make a lot of fucking sense. And you know, I like to think that I charged pretty heavy on skunk apes and shit. And I got a couple soft boards, but you know, they turn quick and tight. This thing is like, you know, okay, this is how it is. The difference between most snowboards and skiing is, like, you see these dudes on skis, they got two edges and shit, and we get that. But they're just holding these big, long, fucking bouncy lines, you know, like, they're not trying to speed check too much, they're just beelining it, you know, like, oh. And it just seems like a pace that's faster than snowboards can be comfortable with. It's not the truth. This fucking board, you can just stand on it and point it, and if you can deal with the speed, you can do that. You can do that shit, man. I'm digging this board a lot right now. It's good. It's good. All right, it's the third update on the lift. So since I changed the bindings, it is a fucking ripper. I love this board. I fucking love it. There was a day, a couple runs this morning, I was like, yeah, no, it's not for me. Choking up on those bindings is good. And this is the other thing. It's like, if you know anything about skiing, if you grew up skiing, many of the old dudes did, ski racing, just skiing, they always tell you to put, lean into your front of your boots, lean into your shins. The stiffer the ski and the more camber, the more you lean into those boots to get the ski to bend. This board is no different. This board, you have to always, almost always be leaning into the nose. Almost always. To make it turn quick, to make it nimble, you have to be in the front seat all the time. And it loads well up there. It's good, man. And it just fucking charges. It just charges. Like, I ride pretty tight trees, you know. This is not the best thing for tight trees, because as soon as you slow down, like, oh, trees get tight, you gotta shut it down a little bit. It doesn't do a lazy slow turn. Like, oh, it knifes in, scoops snow like an old Liv Tech does. The other thing is oh, this is it. The tail is real soft. Like, you're riding a plank from your back foot to the front of the board is a plank. Yet this tail is real soft and gushy. What's cool about that is, like, when you're hauling ass, you know, you're in that front seat, you're fucking charging. When you're like, oh shit, you gotta hold up and brake, you can throw that tail into the snow and it flexes and blows out snow. It doesn't buck you, it doesn't throw you off. It's always there to ease you into a big slowdown. So it's pretty sick that way. Yeah, I'll do it for right now. All right, it's the last little section. There's nobody on it. It's pretty fresh groomer, and I'm gonna get a beer. I'm gonna enjoy this big, long, stiff, oh, big, long, stiff Jamie Lynn. Oh, God, it just holds, and it loads. And it goes fast. It just, like a giant slalom board. Kind of rocky up here, if I remember right. Stay light on your. Yeah, this board is good, man. It's if you're a snowboarder that's gonna go riding with skiers, like everybody skis but you, have this in your quiver. Get used to it, because this is steeper than it looks. I mean, it's steeper than it looks. And this board is just, you stay in the front seat, it just rips over this stuff, eats chow, you know? This is the end of my day. My legs are shot. You can just keep pointing this thing down the hill, and it's gonna keep going down the fucking hill. Stay in the front seat, so turn. It just, I mean, you know, it's just a long ass run. Rocky, sleeping on my heels.